Hey, it's Haiti, and I'm here with a video about my experience as a first-generation college Latina student from South Central Los Angeles. So before I start with the video, I wanted you all to get a glimpse of how I make my videos. So I always write a script in this little notebook. It has all the notes of my previous videos, and it helps me with being able to stick to the points and not derail. I tend to ramble a bit, but for this video, there's no way that I can have my script off to the side and just look at bullet points, because I think it's such a personal experience that I need something to hold on to. My notebook is kind of like my teddy bear, my emotional companion. I put a lot of work and effort into these videos that all of my hard work is in this notebook. And so in order to talk about these personal life experiences, I think I would rather just read it instead of kind of just rambling off the top of my head based off of some bullet points. Growing up, my mom and dad ran a house cleaning business together. They worked Monday through Saturday and sometimes wouldn't come home until it was my bedtime. My older sister, who was in high school, took care of me. We were 10 years apart in age, so if I was about 5 years old, she was 15. So I never really saw my parents struggle. I lived a good life. At 9, my dad passed away and my older sister got married. She was 19 and she had her first child, so college wasn't much of an option for her. I started helping my mom with her business and taking care of my 3-year-old sister. My mom would always tell me, do good in school, go to college so that you won't get stuck cleaning houses for the rest of your life like me, and you could one day afford someone to clean your house for you. So I decided that one way or another, I was going to go to college. In the 8th grade, I joined a program that helped underserved young women from LA become college educated women, and they prepared me very well. By the time I was a freshman in high school, by the time I was 15, I already knew every single class I needed to take at that school and roughly around the type of grades that I would need to get into competitive colleges like the UCs and the private colleges out of state. I actually was part of a promotional video for the program a few years ago, and there are some clips of me talking about my experiences within the program and some clips of me on campus at UCI also. So I'll link that below so that you can check it out. So it is because of this program that I became the first in my immediate family to attend a 4-year university. So before I talk more about my experience, I wanted to talk about some statistics about the university and the school to give you an idea of my experience there during my first year of fall 2014. So back in the fall of 2014, the admittance rate was 41%. Now, of that 41%, only 28% of those students were Chicano Latino. And out of those 28%, only 24% of the students identified as first generation. So I was part of a very small pool of students at the university. So my experience as a first generation student was not as tough as, let's say, a kid from South Central Los Angeles attending an Ivy League school. The culture shock is definitely more real out there. The homesickness is definitely more real. I was only about an hour away from my home, so I did not experience a lot of emotional shock, but it was a bit of a culture shock for me. So thank goodness I ended up living at a first generation dorm. So out of the 90 students that lived in my dorm, all of them were first generation. And I would say about half or maybe even more were Latino. So I felt very in my element, very comfortable. I lived in a triple, so I had 2 other roommates and they were both Latina. So in the dorm of 90 students, there was only 1 student who was Black. And it was interesting to me because being from South Central Los Angeles, it's predominantly Black and Latino, so it was still a culture shock for me to be living with white and Asian people. In all honesty, that is just my general experience. In my lifetime, I probably have only played like on the playground and talked to in classes to maybe like 4 white people and 3 Asians. We were all Latino and Black. So socially, being a first generation college student at UC Irvine was not too tough for me. I ended up joining the Latino Business Student Association, where the majority of us were first generation. So I just was always surrounded by Latinos. If they were not first generation, at least they were Latino who grew up in California. I don't think I met anyone else from a different state because we are a California public state university. So it just made sense that we all got along, we all had about the same experiences, and so I really enjoyed my experience at UCI as a first generation college student. But I know that once I have kids and if they decide to go to school, they will definitely not be feeling the same things that I did, because I will definitely be preparing them for what's to come. So the reason I focused on social experiences in this video is because those experiences were the most shocking to me. But once it came to academics and professional development, it wasn't as tough. It was tough, but not as tough as my social experience. And in general though, I still plan on making more videos talking about being a first generation college student. So if you're interested in those type of videos, feel free to subscribe. And if you have any questions about being a college student in general or being a first generation college student, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.